Caitlin Clark just locked in a speaking deal that makes Aya Wilson's full-season salary look like tip money, and the WNBA is absolutely spiraling about it. While the league's supposed MVP rushes to mirror Clark's moves, the real headline is this: Clark doesn't even need basketball to dominate the news cycle. This isn't just about dollars. It's about leverage. With one signature, Clark appended the entire pecking order of women's hoops. The numbers are wild. Clark is commanding $100,000 per appearance. As a starting rate, we're talking 90 minutes of stage time worth more than what many WNBA players bring home in a year. And here's where it gets messy. Aya Wilson suddenly announced she's charging the same. One problem: those bookings reportedly aren't landing. The try-hard energy is obvious, and it isn't helping her brand. Before we peel back the next layer, hit subscribe if you want the side of the WNBA story the mainstream won't touch, because what comes next rewrites the business of the game. Clark just inked the Long Island Association's 2025 Spring Conference, one of the East Coast's premier business summits. This isn't a routine luncheon. This is where Fortune 500 titans trade handshakes worth 9 zeros before noon. Rooms where 8-figure net worths are just the cover charge. And when organizers went hunting for a marquee draw, they didn't call Aya Wilson. They didn't call Brianna Stewart. They called Caitlin Clark. The backstory makes it spicier. People close to the planning say Wilson's team pitched her for the same event weeks earlier, matched Clark's rate, then undercut it by 20% when the inbox stayed quiet. The alleged reply: "We're seeking someone with broader appeal." Translation: "We want the star who moves the needle, not the one pretending to." The timing is flat-out brutal for Wilson. Fresh off another MVP season that didn't cross into mainstream culture, she's watching a second-year pro eclipse a decade of accomplishments. Off the court, Clark's speaking circuit isn't just a cash pipeline. It's a strategy map. Every stage expands her story beyond basketball. Every keynote opens new rooms, new allies, new power. She isn't just playing the game, she's rewriting it. Wilson's response: cryptic posts about knowing your worth, and real recognize real. The subtext was so loud even casual fans connected the dots. One line read: "Some people need to earn their stripes before cashing checks." Coming from someone watching Clark smash every rookie benchmark in sight, the envy read like neon. Clark's response: silence and then a flex. No subtweets, no side comments, no press tour. Instead, she announced another booking: a major Silicon Valley conference in February 2025. The fee: $150,000. A 50% jump in under a month. While Wilson tossed shade online, Clark stacked wins in boardrooms. Behind the scenes, the WNBA office moved quick. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert reportedly convened a brand management huddle that looked like damage control by another name. Because the signal is devastating. If your transcendent star can make more talking about basketball than playing it, your model has cracks. A league that struggles to pay living wages is watching its golden goose build an empire without them. Here's the part nobody's putting on a press release. Clark's speaking contracts reportedly include zero WNBA branding requirements. No league gear. No sponsor shoutouts. No forced mentions. She owns the microphone and the message. That's control the league can't corral, and it's driving them wild. Every dollar she makes is a reminder she's bigger than the box meant to contain her. Corporate America gets it, even if the league doesn't. When companies book Clark, they're not just buying a guard with range. They're buying a phenomenon who reframed women's sports in real time. Her Iowa run alone built a media bonfire worth over $1 billion in exposure. One player. One school. 10 figures of attention. Now take that to a national stage and scale it across tech, finance, VC, fashion, and media. The demand writes itself. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Wilson mirroring Clark's fee exposed a truth the league hates to face. Most WNBA names can't sniff 6 figures for a keynote. Even legends historically clocked far lower rates. Clark's floor outpaces what many icons peaked at. Players feel a way about that, and the subtweets show it. Kelsey Plum hinted that media darlings get opportunities real hoopers don't. Chelsea Gray posted about substance over hype. Even Brianna Stewart, cooler than cool, nudged the idea that respect is earned with rings, not trending tabs. The unspoken chorus. Why her, not us? The market's answer is unsentimental. Clark fills arenas. Clark trends globally. Clark makes casuals care. That isn't a diss. It's data. The timing makes it savage. While the Players Association pushes for better salaries at the bargaining table, Clark just showed you can walk around the table altogether. Build your brand. Set your price. Let demand do the talking. She's handing the next generation a blueprint that doesn't need league permission. And this is only Act 1. Insiders whisper about 7-figure book deals, production partnerships, and tech investments that make basketball money look quaint. She's not thinking next game, she's thinking next decade. Every move reframes how small the league's vision looks in comparison. Wilson's camp is racing to catch up, exploring media opportunities, building a speaking portfolio. Translation. Copy-paste Clark's strategy and pray the public buys it. But you can't reverse engineer cultural gravity. Everyone notices. Reads how it feels, forced. Watching league media spin this is unintentional comedy. They can't knock Clark without sounding bitter. And they can't praise her without admitting she's bigger than the W. So we get the lukewarm grow the game together talking points while Clark grows her stack solo. Let's zoom out. Clark just proved WNBA players don't need the WNBA to thrive. That's a direct hit on the league's power center. If the money, fame, and platform are richer outside the walls, what are the walls even for? And brands aren't just offering podiums. Streaming platforms want documentaries. Fashion houses want creative direction, not one-off shoots. Tech companies are dangling equity, not just endorsement checks. She's transcending sport in a way that makes MVP trophies look like souvenirs. Wilson's latest move. Hire Clark's former marketing consultant and hope lightning hits twice. But what Clark has is timing plus talent plus touch. That's not a strategy. That's alchemy. The league's counter is predictable. Encourage players to try the speaking circuit, then launch a speakers bureau, with a 30% cut to the league. Meanwhile, Clark runs independent and keeps every dime. Once again, she's out front while the league ties its shoes. Here's the kicker. Agents whisper that Clark's current fee is conservative. She could ask for $250,000 and still have a wait list. She's keeping rates accessible to build long-term relationships. That's the long game. Planting trees, not chasing leaves. The ripple effect is already here. High school and college stars are building speaker reels alongside highlight reels. They're taking media training, studying storytelling, and planning beyond the court from day one. Clark didn't just change her lane. She repaved the freeway and put up streetlights. Wilson's optics keep backfiring. She posted a photo from a small corporate stop like it was a marquee keynote. Sleuths found it was a free charity appearance. Trying to look parallel to Clark is costing her more than it's paying. The paradox is delicious. Every shot at Clark raises her stock. Every jealous caption, every copycat pivot, every panel chattering about hype versus substance, just proves the point. Clark is the axis. Everyone else is orbit. We haven't even hit 2025's opening tip and Clark already owns the off-season. She's building an empire while others build excuses. She's cashing checks while they're cashing in on discourse. And the wildest part. She's still warming up. If this drama has you hooked, subscribe because 2025 is going to detonate. The league can try to contain Clark. But she outgrew the box months ago. Drop a comment. Is Aya Wilson's shade understandable, or just embarrassing? Either way, welcome to the Caitlin Clark era. And the WNBA better buckle up, because their brightest star just proved she doesn't need them anymore. Deep dive. Why the speaking market bends to Clark. Let's unpack why corporate America is throwing 6 figures at a 20-something guard. It isn't just points per game. It's market resonance. Clark sits at the intersection of several powerful currents. Generational attention, Midwest authenticity, viral highlight culture, and the narrative of a single player dragging an entire sport into prime time. She's the Venn diagram sweet spot. Athletic excellence, memeable moments, family-friendly charisma, and a track record of packing arenas on the road. Speaking bureaus care about three things: draw, reliability, and headline value. Draw. Clark sells out gyms and triggers secondary ticket markets. Reliability. She's buttoned up, media-trained, and scandal-free. Headline value. She spikes social metrics on command. CEOs dream of a keynote that energizes employees and makes a LinkedIn splash. Clark does both, effortlessly. Compare that to the typical athlete keynote. A motivational arc, a few locker room stories, some Q&A. Clark adds a livewire spark. She's still in ascent. Not a retirement retrospective, but an active case study in execution. That's a different energy. Brands are lining up to say they had her on stage before she became inevitable. And here's the sneaky part. She's a safe risk. Corporate audiences are broad and conservative by nature. Clark's story cuts across age, gender, and politics. She's achievement forward with just enough swagger to feel modern. No baggage, no unpredictability, no off-court headlines that make comms teams sweat. For an event planner, she's plug-and-play celebrity. The league's dilemma. Own the brand or own the player. The WNBA wants to scale. That means controlling logos, message, moments. But the modern athlete economy rewards the exact opposite. Decentralization. Nil cracked the dam. Social media washed it away. The athlete is the media company. When the league tries to capture surplus value, cut of speaking gigs, mandatory sponsor shoutouts, content claims, it looks like a tax on individual brilliance. Fans feel it. Players feel it. And sponsors who want the Clark effect without the bureaucracy sidestep the league middleman. Clark leveraging independence isn't anti-league. It's post-league. Her growth expands the pie, whether or not the league gets a slice. The smart move for the W would be to co-brand cooperatively. Bundle optional packages, not mandates. Make it easy for partners to add league context when it benefits everyone, and get out of the way when the partner only wants Clark. That flexible posture would still allow the WNBA to ride the wave without triggering resentment. Instead, the league's first impulse was to centralize, with a take rate. Wrong move, wrong era. Fans smell ownership grabs from a mile away. The path forward is platform thinking. Amplify, don't annex. Aya Wilson, legacy, and the popularity gap. Let's be fair. Aya Wilson is an all-time talent. Elite production, team success, community presence. In a rational world, trophies would translate into mainstream Q scores. But attention isn't rational. It's emotional. Clark's arc makes casual sports fans feel like they're part of a cultural moment. Wilson's arc speaks to hoop purists. Both matter. Only one floods the general audience. That doesn't make Wilson less than. It makes the stakes different. Her best response isn't to chase Clark's shadow. It's to own her lane like a mogul. Build an identity product around excellence, leadership, and sustained dominance. Think masterclasses, elite camps, structured mentorship for emerging stars, tie-ins with high-performance brands. Price it premium, deliver it flawlessly. That would print respect and money. The mimic game is a trap. The market can tell the difference between a native move and a reactionary one. Wilson doesn't have to be Clark to be great. She just has to be the best version of Wilson, then scale that into a system. Right now, she's playing defense in a contest she didn't choose. The win is to flip the court. The fan map. Why Clark converts casuals. Casual fans need simple hooks. Distance threes, record chases, rivalries with clear edges, iconic gestures, and viral-friendly composure. Clark's catalog is a highlight producer's dream. The distance logo shots. Shareable. The road arena boos turning into sellouts. Cinematic. The face of a sport while still being relatable. That's aspirational TV. Every time she takes a stage, she reintroduces women's basketball to someone who hasn't cared in years, or ever. That's the converter effect. Coffee table families who watch March Madness for fun are now remembering player names in June. Corporate boards that never discussed women's sports are budgeting for it next quarter. That's Clark's real fee. The converted attention she drags behind her. The playbook for the next wave. If you're a high school phenom or a college standout, here's the blueprint Clark just gift-wrapped. Narrative first. What's the story beyond stats? Adversity, community ties, a signature style. Make it legible. Own your channels. Newsletter YT short form. Don't rent your audience. Own it. Speaking reels early. 2 tight minutes of you on stage, mic'd well, clean lighting. Event planners book what they can see. Tiered pricing. Student groups, nonprofits, corporate. Keep one tier accessible for goodwill and training reps. Let corporate subsidize the rest. No deadweight clauses. Guard against mandatory brand clutter that dilutes your story. Equity over cash, selectively in tech or consumer products you believe in. Ask for partial equity. Start the portfolio now. Coach the comms. Learn to pivot hard questions into brand moments. That's how you avoid getting clipped into someone else's narrative. Clark's doing half of this in public already. The rest is happening in back rooms where the future gets decided. What happens next? Here's the real plot twist. The more the league tries to manage the Clark phenomenon, the more it highlights its own dependency on her. The power move would be to stop pretending she's just another all-star and publicly treat her like what she is. A category of one growth engine. Build new revenue experiments around the Clark effect. Dynamic broadcast packages, international tours, cross-sport showcases, campus partnership series. Make it a lab, not a leash. Meanwhile, Clark will keep stacking non-basketball wins. Publishing, production, fashion, tech. The portfolio will look LeBron adjacent before the decade's out. Only she'll do it with the accelerator of modern creator tools. If you think the $150,000 keynote was loud, wait until the first $1 million brand conversation leaks, with revenue share and IP. Wilson will face a choice. Keep shadow chasing or build an empire with a different gravity. The first path keeps her on defense. The second turns her into a boss. The sooner that pivot happens, the faster the noise turns back into respect. And the fans? They'll keep doing what fans do. Reward the authentic, punish the performative, and share whatever makes them feel part of something bigger. Clark is bigger. Wilson can be different, and still massive. Final word. Caitlin Clark didn't just set a new speaking fee. She exposed a new speaking era. She showed that in 2025 and beyond, the modern athlete can be a standalone economy, with or without the league stamp. That isn't an indictment of the WNBA. It's a challenge to evolve. Partner when it adds value. Step aside when it doesn't. Let greatness breathe. Because every time they try to box her in, she redraws the room. Every doubt, every subtweet, every panel debate about hype versus substance becomes another receipt in her museum. The market has spoken, clearly, loudly, repeatedly. They thought they could slow Caitlin Clark down. Instead, they boosted her signal. Subscribe if you want the unfiltered story next time it breaks, and drop a comment. Is Aya Wilson's shade justified or just insecure? Either way, the new era is here. And it's not asking for permission.